Welcome! In this video, we will be discovering the basics of blue carbon systems and their functions on our planet. First, we must understand carbon sequestration before we define what blue carbon does. Carbon sequestration is the natural ability of plants, soils, and other earthly systems to store carbon, keeping it out of the atmosphere on the short or long term. If you watch our carbon cycle video, we discuss how carbon is cycled through the atmosphere, biosphere, hydrosphere, and lithosphere. While cycling through these various spheres, also known as pools, carbon undergoes a process whereby it is stored within the structures of the Earth's plants, soils, animals, and other forms of matter. Essentially, carbon sequestration is the cycling and storage of carbon throughout Earth's various pools. Don't forget, carbon is everywhere on the planet and is a key component within Earth's vast natural systems. When discussing blue carbon systems, we are most concerned with the carbon cycle as it interacts with the hydrosphere. Remember, this pool involves the many forms of Earth's waters. Incredible amounts of carbon from the atmosphere are absorbed and utilized by the animals and plants of the oceans and seas. For example, phytoplankton are one of the largest carbon consumers on the planet. Phytoplankton live near the surface of the water and use the sun's light to digest carbon, which is then used to produce energy, just as plants do on land. Phytoplankton are also responsible for producing 70% of Earth's oxygen. Other blue carbon ecosystems are mangroves, salt marshes, seagrass meadows, kelp forests, shellfish colonies, and coral reefs. These ecosystems all share the ability to store and use carbon. For instance, mangroves, seagrasses, and kelp forests store carbon within their structures, like their leaves, stems, and roots. During this process, carbon is also moved to the soil and sand sediments that surround their roots. Likewise, shellfish colonies like oysters as well as coral reefs use carbon to build their shells and bodies. The same types of ecosystems can vary in how much carbon they hold in different parts of the world. For example, a seagrass meadow near Nigeria may store different amounts of carbon than a seagrass meadow near Mexico. Now that we can name a few blue carbon systems, let's find out how carbon is stored within them. As we know, large amounts of carbon exist in the Earth's atmosphere. During the carbon cycle process, carbon will leave the atmosphere when it is absorbed by plants and animals, or when it is pushed into the hydrosphere by atmospheric pressure. Here, we can see how carbon is cycled through blue carbon systems. Carbon is absorbed from the atmosphere and used by each carbon capturer. Blue carbon plants will release carbon back into the atmosphere when decomposing and breathing. However, they usually store more than will be released, as long as these ecosystems remain healthy and protected. Well, there you have it, friends. Carbon is found everywhere throughout our planet, and we have seen how it cycles in and out of the hydrosphere. In the following videos, we will dive deeper into the blue carbon systems and how they store and use carbon to create the beautiful world we live in.